right, now already on the programme we've seen one of the big derby matches in the league with the meeting of Bohemians and Shamrock Rovers. Another derby match that never fails to ignite passions is the Louth derby between Dundalk and Drogheda United. The two sides met at Oriel Park on Friday night and Eamon Donoghue was there.
A large crowd turned up at Oriel Park to see the third Louth derby of the league season, and the bad weather couldn't dampen the spirits for what was a thoroughly entertaining game. New signing Scott Gibbs was in at full back for his Drogheda debut, and in truth this was a game he'll want to forget. Here he almost gifted Kevin McKinley the opener. That seemed to sum up a lack of decision about a normally resolute United defence, and Gerard Rowe made the most of Alan McNally's mistake to open the scoring. The battle between Gibbs and McKinley was entertaining while it lasted. Here the United man was booked for a high arm on his Dundalk opponent. But Drogheda drew level on 30 minutes. Conor Kenna with his fourth of a season that has seen him emerge as one of the finest defenders around, not harmed by his newfound eye for goal. Slowly but surely Dundalk were assuming total control, and Michael McGowan was the next to try his luck. The Dundalk bench clearly enjoying derby day. That equaliser was as good as it got for United. Gibbs was caught in possession, and in his desperation to win the ball back, he picked up a second yellow card. The manner of the second goal won't have pleased Alan Matthews. It was all too easy for Alex Williams. A classy finish, but the celebration perhaps left something to be desired. Matthews pushed Shane Barrett further forward in the second half in search of a way back, and he created a chance for Brendan McGill that the former Bows man really should have buried. The game turned completely Dundalk's way in the 57th minute. Again there was a certain sloppiness about the defending, Paul Skinner making a temporary save before Tom Connolly awarded a penalty against Conor Kenna for handball. The former UCD captain also picked up a yellow card for his protests. That Chris Turner's fifth successful spot kick of the season. By his own admission, Williams had a quiet game overall, but a player with his instinct can never be ruled out and caused a moment of panic for the United defence. He wasn't to be denied, however, and the quickness of his feet was matched by the speed of thought for a well-worked forward. But the home side seemed to take their foot off the gas in the latter stages, allowing Drogheda some measure of domination, Paul Crowley getting his header away as the Drogheda fans made for the exits. They were to miss a moment of drama in the 85th minute when their side was awarded a penalty for handball. Substitute Paul McAreevy the guilty culprit. This perhaps a sign that Shane Barrett is still missing his days as a Meath Gaelic footballer. United did manage a second in the dying embers through former Ireland under-21 international James Chambers. But that not enough to prevent a fifth win in 6 games for Dundalk. Back-to-back defeats for Drogheda see them slip to 9th.
There's still a lot of football to be played, but I said that tonight we've got to keep plugging away, keep taking points off the teams below us, and make sure that we're still in this league next year.
A penalty, handball, and he books the player. We get our own penalty then again, which the referee wasn't going to give, and the linesman brings his attention to it. So overall, we weren't good tonight. We were poor, but we weren't helped by the performance of the referee either.
Okay, we'll talk about that in a sec. Pat, I want the definitive view now on Drogheda. You've had them relegated earlier on in the season, then you weren't so sure. What's the feeling now?
Feeling now is I'm going to tip them to go down, Con, because then they'll start winning games, because when I tipped them to stay up, they lost the game. So I think that's the best thing for me to do, and everybody in Drogheda will be happy. So I'm going to tip them to be relegated, and they'll stay up.
The thing that strikes me, though, is, I mean, we've been talking in recent weeks about how organised Drogheda have been, and they haven't been sloppy and stuff, and then they go to Oriel Park, and for the second time this season, actually, concede a bucketful.
Yeah, and that's the concern I think that Alan Matthews will have. I mean, it's a low derby, no matter if there's full-time, not full-time, you're playing against the people who are your enemies, for want of a better word, and they haven't performed both times in Oriel Park, and that's a concern. I think that's 7 goals they conceded in the 2 games, which is a lot.
But it's also part and parcel of being down the bottom, the lack of consistency.
Yeah.
So if you're a manager, like Eddie, I'm saying earlier, you have to be understanding of your players and the fact that you're not going to get that consistency. And if you let it get to you, then it'll get to your players as well. You're going to remain upbeat. No, inconsistency is going to be with us till the end of the season, but let's make the best of it. Keep the spirits up and keep coming back. When you get a bad game, come back next week with something decent.
And Johnny, you know, we spoke about Sligo and the new players that have come in have worked out already there. Likewise at Dundalk, 5 wins in 6 now, and Williams starting to score a load of goals.
He looks decent enough. Like, he looks like a good finisher. You seen his goal there. Keeper probably went down a little bit early. I think Pat said he needed a pass to get back in. But they look as if they're enjoying themselves. Look at the bench. The managers look very relaxed. The coaches relaxed. The players look very relaxed. So good sign. I mean, you know, they're talking about, you know, staying in the league and staying up and stuff. But if you win 5 out of 6, if they keep going like that, they could. European, big crowd, Damien. You're right. Yeah,
good atmosphere.
You know, good crowd, and yesterday up in Dalymount as well. So the crowds have been up this week.
I think that's something we have to stress. I mean, despite all the doom and gloom, the despondency, there's great potential in the league, as proven by last Wednesday the attendance at Dalymount, the attendance yesterday at Dalymount, and also Dundalk. Good crowd. Yeah. And if Cork can tap back into the real identity, they'll soon be back up there, hopefully.
Fingers crossed.